Hello, YouTube. Welcome in, everyone. Let me know when you can see me and hear me. I'm so excited to be here. So before we actually get started, I just want to let you guys know that I woke up with a little bit of a head cold this morning. So I have been very nasally and just like sneezy and all the stuff. So I just want to let you guys kind of know that that I might be kind of muting the meeting if I have like a cough attack or a sneeze or something like that coming up and spare you guys. So just so you guys know, I still wanted to do the training because I was very excited. And that's another thing I want to mention as we get into this training because you will be seeing this a lot more from me. So as I shared in, I think it was training masterclass number 1 in this series, that my human design is a projector, but my quantum design is a Gen. And because of that, what happens is that when I'm in high alignment, like I'm totally in God's grid, I will be getting download after download after download of amazing things that I want to teach and I'm excited to teach, and I'll have all of this energy. And if I schedule that stuff later on, because I have to, like, my thought process is, well, let me schedule this because it'll give me enough time to make sure everyone knows about it. Sometimes by that time, it's like I'm not that excited about it anymore, or now I'm in my projector energy and not my Gen energy. So what I'm fully giving myself permission to do this year that is very different is that I'm allowing myself to just show up and teach the thing, even if I don't give you enough time to show up. Because what's more important to me is the energy that I'm in when I'm teaching the thing and the downloads that are coming in, then whether you're there live or not. Of course, I love it when you're live, but even if you're not, that's okay, because I would rather give you the thing when I'm in my highest energy than wait and then possibly, not be as excited about it as I was when the download first came. So you're going to be seeing me like teach things, share things at supersonic speeds without necessarily like marketing it as much or telling you. So make sure that you are in all my places, like you've got your notifications on, you're checking your emails, because it might be like a split-second notification. I might not launch the thing for a week or 2 weeks like I've done in the past. I might just go teach it. Okay. So make sure that you are kind of keeping your eyes peeled. So today is day 3 of the Feminine and Masculine Masterclass, and I'm really excited about today because it is braiding. It's one of my favorite topics that I talk with my private, elite, overachieving, high-achieving clients. It's not something that I've taught a lot publicly because most people are not there yet. This is not going to be relevant to like the most number of people, but the people that do hear it and are ready to hear it, it's going to change their life. So what happens in braiding, and this really activates sort of in like this phase 2 of the $1,000,000 man and $1,000,000 babe stage, really where you can see it and own it and see the results of it, is that you now have integrated the masculine and feminine parts of your being in such a way where they're completely, like, imagine a braid. And in this mode, whether you're a male or a female, you are superhuman. This is where you activate high states of flow. This is really where you've got 1 foot in the 99% realm and 1 foot in the 1% realm, which is not easy for everyone to do at all times. So when you are in those states, when you are braided in your energy, you will feel like you can take over the planet. You will feel like you want to say yes, 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 yes to everything. You've got the energy, you've got the downloads coming in, you've got the desire, like everything is aligned. You will feel like you are walking on water. That is literally what it will feel like. Let me know right now in the chat if you have had those moments, or you feel like you're really ready and this is a sign that you are entering that zone. Throw me a heart if you're unable to comment. At the end, if we have time, I'll open it up to everyone if I'm not sneezy and nasally and all the things. But has anyone experienced this? Because that is where the magic happens. That is where you stack the blessings. It's manifestation after manifestation after manifestation. This is where you need your biggest container work, because the things will be coming in so fast. You're gonna feel like you're drowning in blessings and you need like a moment to just even breathe, especially if you're not used to that. Yes. Okay, I'm getting some yeses, right? This happens when you are in that zone where you're working with masculine and feminine energy all at once. So you not only now have the ability to turn on and turn off, right? We teach that to self-aware Barbies, right? That's one of the big things we teach to phase 3 self-aware Barbies is that, hey, you can bring your masculine energy at work, you can bring your masculine energy at school, with your partner, with your children, you want to bring more of your feminine energy. We're teaching them to be basically energy fluid. But when you get into phase 2 of Million Dollar Babe and Million Dollar Man, you need to be able to integrate and use both the energies at the same time. And the thing is, you are going to be manifesting so non-linear in this mode, so quantum, so crazy, that people, even people close to you, will be looking at you like, what the hell's going on here? You're going to be printing money. You're going to be dropping the pounds. You're going to be glowing. You're going to be like, it's like everything will work out for you. Like, it's like there's a hurricane, but you showed up, it went away. Okay, there's no parking, but you showed up and you had a parking. There's a recession, but your business is making more money than like it's ever made before. Like, those are the kind of things. It's just going to be crazy and it's not going to make sense to people. Now, this is where you're going to have to really expand your ability to hold duality, because this is, especially if you're a woman, this is where the persecution wound will show up. Why will the persecution wound show up here? Because if you know anything about geniuses, if you know anything about people that have been ahead of their time, there's always been a level of people being suspicious because they seem to know things other people don't know. They seem to be walking on water. They seem to be superhuman. They seem to have abilities that other people don't have. For example, you might be working, 8 hours a day and freaking exhausted on the verge of a burnout, right? And these superhuman people show up and they're working longer hours than you and they're glowing and they have radiant relationships and they're going out for networking afterwards and they're taking these amazing, like, what? What is even happening? Of course, they must be doing something wrong because I'm over here working and hustling and like I'm not getting their results. What's happened is that they've tapped into the upper worlds. They've tapped into the quantum. They've tapped into the 99% realm. And this is going to stir up so much for other people. It's going to stir up jealousy. It's going to stir up envy, which is way worse than jealousy, as we know from the Bible, right? It's going to stir up like haters. It's going to stir up people. Even family members sometimes are not going to be able to. I was having this conversation with my cousin a while ago. We were laughing because she was saying that she's like, of all the types of jealous people, I think I at least admire the ones that are jealous but able to hide it. She's like, I can't stand the ones where like they're not even able to hide. It's like play along, pretend you're not jealous. We were laughing because it's like it's oozing out of them. They can't control it. They cannot control it. It's like taking over them, right? This is what is going to happen. People might sabotage you at work. Even family members might be, saying, well, maybe you're doing something wrong, or, you shouldn't do this, or you're not educated enough. Like, this is where all of the fear of being seen, the fear of being persecuted, being vilified, like all of that stuff will show up. But you cannot let that get you out of the field. You cannot, because this is really, there's two options here. When we are hitting those God grids, we're in the 99% realm. You're really in a realm where you can manifest, teach, inspire, do so much more. People that are like, have the full potential to do it themselves, but they don't believe that. They think that there's too much of a delta between you and them. They don't realize that this delta can be closed from them also tapping into God's grid. So they think that the delta can only be closed by pulling you down. And if you allow that, now you're back into their world. Now you're back into the 1% realm. But if you can hold the pose, if you can have staying power, not only will you secondhand inspire these people if they're open to that, but it doesn't even matter. But what's going to happen is that other people that are on the same playing field will start collaborating with you. So whether you have a career or whether you're a stay-at-home mom or whether you have your own business, you want to collaborate with people that are also in the God grid. They're also in the 99% realm. I was just, something magical just happened even before this training. Like you can't even like plan this stuff. It's just genius. Like God is so great. So, I was having this back and forth conversation with one of my friends about how, her and I have been attracting all of these really high level elite clients. And one of the things that we've noticed also being high level elite women ourselves is that it's very vulnerable when you need help and you are in the top 1% to hire people. It doesn't matter if it's to clean your house or a mentorship, coach, therapist, a gardener, because at that elite level, there's a whole different set of things that you have to deal with and you have to consider. Because let me give you an example. When we moved into this house, the first housekeeper that I tested out, I didn't end up hiring her. After, I think this was like, she wasn't even done cleaning my house. I was still like kind of showing her around. She was like, hey, is it okay if I make some videos in your house and post them on my social media? That would be a big no thank you. As Ayan would say, my projector son, no thankers. So that was the last time she was in my house. There is a whole different set of things. Like, for example, when I was watching Paris Hilton's show, she was talking about how she wouldn't allow herself to go to therapy even though she needed it because she didn't trust that the therapist would reveal personal information about her. So can you see what happens is that when you are in the top 1% within the top 1%, when you are an elite player, when you are tapped into the 99% realm, you can't just deal with everyone else. You have to now seek out people that are on your same playing field. You need to now be able to work with people, hire people, collaborate with people that are in high integrity, that understand and see your power, but also bring something unique to the table, right? So let me give you an example. Like if I needed to hire a housekeeper, which I have found someone that's brilliant and genius, high integrity woman, has a whole amazing team. When she comes into my house, she doesn't see me as an idiot. She doesn't treat me like, oh, move aside, let me clean your house. You peasant, you don't know how to clean your own house. Whereas the one right before her, that was kind of her attitude. She would be showing me things in my own house as if I don't know how to use them. It's like, this is my house, right? Like, yeah, thank you for showing me the obvious, right? So my new housekeeper that I've had for about 6 months now, she sees my power. She's in her power. She's also not putting me on a pedestal, right? But she also brings her unique gifts. She is a genius and a leader of her business, of her domain, of her life. The way that this woman is handling her team, her children, her husband, like I'm just in awe of her. So she is a genius in her own domain. So she sees my power. She sees her own power. I see my power. I see her power. Do you see how it's a beautiful collaboration? Nowhere in the interaction, it's ever like, you're beneath me, I'm above you, I'm putting you on a pedestal. Like none of that stuff. We are two very strong business women mothers, wives, running our lives, our businesses, our teams with high integrity. So when you are tapping into the 99% realm, all of a sudden you are now starting to send out this signal, okay? This energetic match signal. So the type of partner that you attract, the kind of husband or wife that you attract will be completely different. Completely different. The type of staff team that can now work with you will be completely different. Needs to be different. Okay. I've had the experience of hiring people or even going into other people's businesses, and when they find out who I am, they start acting really funky. They start acting really weird. And instantly I'm like, oh, they're not used to dealing with high-level clients. This is not a good business for me to interact with. Versus if I am in a different business and all their clients, like they know how to hold space for high-level elite clients, there's a level of trust that starts forming. I know that these people are not going to reveal personal information about me. I know that these people are not going to be acting really weird around my wealth or about my power to purchase things or say no to things that are not aligned. I know that they're going to be in high integrity with who they bring into their business and who they hire. Do you see how everything changes? So you need to first be able to do this inner work and integrate that in yourself. And then you literally send out this beacon of light, this energetic match, and you are going to be more selective. So when I'm looking for a housekeeper, pool person, we have someone that cleans our aquarium, like we have a whole staff for our home, right? We can't just hire anyone. We can't just like, I don't know if Craigslist even exists, but I'm sure, what is like the newer version of this? I don't know. We can't just like go to Thumbtack and like hire some random person. There's NDAs. There's like, it's a whole different level that you're working with. So the pool of people that you can now marry, the pool of friends that you can have, the pool of people you can hire, the pool of people you can now collaborate with, the pool of people that follow you if you're on social media, if your business is on social media, it's going to shrink. It has to, because you are not appealing to the masses anymore. You can't. They're not going to get you. Those are the people on the sidelines, jealous as F, pointing fingers saying you're doing something wrong, because if they allow themselves to believe that you have cracked the code, then it's too much delta for them. It's like, wait a minute, something's wrong with me then, instead of saying, hey, I also have the power to do so. So powerful people get inspired by people that are ahead of them. People that are not in their power, they get jealous. They have to try to bring you down. They have to either turn away, which is the more integrity thing to do, or try to bring you down to their level. So this can be painful if you're new to the 99% realm, because you're like, wait a minute, like, I have less dates. Yes, but because you can't be on Tinder anymore. You are a high level elite person. You have standards. You're like a different paradigm. You can't date like how everyone else dates. You can't hire people like the way everyone else hires people. Like you have a legal team that people have to go through just to even be able to enter your home. Do you see what I'm saying? Let me know if this is starting to make sense. And this is important even if you're not someone in the 99% realm, but want to be working with those people, because I have had so many people enter my world acting like so excited that they want to work with someone in my caliber and they want to charge these high prices, but then they don't have the package. They're not someone I can trust. They're fangirling. They want to take pictures of my children or inside my house without my permission. Like they want to do all these funky things. And I'm just like, no, 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 no. You're not acting and behaving like someone that's used to elite clients. That is not normal behavior. And that shows me that you're trying to use me as a guinea pig. And if I do something that it makes you jealous or triggers you, that's not going to end well. So no, we're not doing that. So eventually, if you guys watch Paris Hilton's show, she was able to eventually find people that she could completely trust and get the therapy and support that she needed and she deserved, but those are people in a completely different realm. And those are the people that when they find you, when they see that you're an energetic match, when you can establish that relationship and trust with them, they bring a floodgate of other clients. This has been happening to me since 2019. That was the year I attracted my first reality TV star client. I was shocked, first of all, because this person had never commented on my videos. They had never liked anything. They had never made a public statement. Their assistant messaged me and booked a session. At first, I thought it was a joke, honestly. I was like, am I being punked? Like, what's happening? But when she came on the call, I did the session. She bought a 90-minute session. I gave her 3 hours. There was a relationship building. She started messaging me. We had future sessions. She bought bigger packages. And I showed up, even though there was a part of me that was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm working with her. I was like, Mina, calm down. Okay, you have to be able to see her in her power and see yourself in your power. She hired you for a reason. You can't show off fangirling over here. That's like how everyone acts around her. She's not going to trust your power. So I was able to hold my power and my expertise while seeing her in her power, not saying, oh, if she's hiring me, then she must be broken. No, broken people don't hire elite coaches. Elite high achievers hire elite coaches, right? And once the relationship was established, I had no ulterior motive. However, the floodgates of clients that this woman sent me. Because here's the thing, elite people have elite friends. And elite friends, elite people, they have all the same issues. They have trust issues. They have people sign NDAs. They're afraid to let random people in their home. They're afraid to be vulnerable. And rightfully so. There's a lot of shady people out there. And so once you establish that kind of trust with someone elite, they're going to be telling all their friends about you. They're going to be saying, hey, I know her. I can trust her. You need these services. She knows how to work with you. She's going to be in integrity. And so when we are doing our work, not with, of course, we don't want to have this motive of like, but everything changes when you do this elite level inner work and you start braiding these aspects. You can show up in your genius, in your power, in your leadership. And you can also at the same time hold other people in their genius, in their power, in their leadership. This is not something that the self-aware Barbie can do. Because remember on day one, we talked about how one of the shadows of the self-aware Barbie is that she sees other people as incapable. And so what happens is that if you are an elite overachiever, amazing, badass, top 1% person, you hire a self-aware Barbie, all of a sudden, they're going to be like, oh, if this person that's like so amazing is hiring me, well, then I must be better than them. I must be like, I have to save them. I have to like prove my worth. They are beneath me now. And so all of a sudden, because you are in your power, you're going to be like, no, like stop talking to me like I'm a child. Stop acting like I'm incapable. Do you not know who I am? And so when you are in that 99% realm, when you can enter that realm, your entire world shifts. And the type of people that you get to work with and attract, it's a smaller pool for sure, but it will light you up like nothing that you've ever done before. It's a whole different playing field. Let me see what you guys are saying. This message is right on time and right for me. Thank you. You're so welcome, Theodora. I'm so happy to hear that. Georgie said, I've hardly moved in my life because every time I do, I feel the envy of other people. I knock myself back down so that I don't make them uncomfortable. Now I'm uncomfortable, but they are happy. Oh my goodness. Okay. So Georgie, you're already a part of Level Up Queens. On Monday, August 5th, I have this training scheduled for you guys. It's already scheduled and you can go see it in the members only. It's called Self-Led. And this is a leadership training this is going to be useful for people that are phase 3 basic babe and then all levels of self-aware Barbie, and a great reminder for $1 million babes as well. Okay. So I have been getting a lot of kind of requests from my audience that, hey, I identify as the basic babe, but why don't you do more trainings for us? Like, how come you're not doing anything? And quite frankly, that's not typically like my audience that I enjoy working with. However, recently I've made the decision that for phase 3, so remember that phase 3 basic babe would be half basic babe and half self-aware Barbie. Like that part, that like doing part has activated in you. You just need a little bit more motivation. You need a little bit of coaching. I'm going to test it out and sprinkle some work for them and see how it feels. Okay. Sometimes they accidentally show up in my world anyways, but they're not the stage that I actively market to, if that makes sense. That I don't really enjoy working with that stage. However, I'm going to do some trainings. So the self-led masterclass will be really useful for you to understand that you're actually not helping anyone by holding yourself back. You are not helping anyone. You are going to be, you need to be able to hold the duality of envy and jealousy. I have done that too in my past, where I held myself back not to make other people uncomfortable. But you know what? I would much rather secondhand inspire them, even if they're upset in the moment, even if they're triggered. The truth is that I truly believe, and I've seen this, that even people that hate me, that cannot stand me, that I trigger the hell out of them, they still benefit from the change that I'm making on this planet. They still benefit from my work. Okay. So for example, if a child hates the doctor because the doctor has to give them medication, the child can hate the doctor all they want. They're still going to benefit from that medication. Right? It's the same thing. So I'm me holding myself back. Like, I'm not going to waste this life for that. That's not why God put me on this planet. So their inner work is to be able to hold jealousy and envy and alchemize it into inspiration. That's their inner work. I can't control that. But my inner work is to be able to move despite the jealousy and the envy, despite the pushback. Pull up any genius of our times or even before our times. Martin Luther King, Mahatma Gandhi, okay? Anyone, I don't care what culture, what nationality, where they're from, they had pushback. They had jealousy. They had envy because they were ahead of their time. They were living in the 99% realm. So you are going to, if you want to play big in this world, if you want to have the most delicious relationship ever, if you want to be the most amazing parent, friend, and mentor to your children, if you want to build generational wealth and legacy and meaning, if you want your work, your change, your legacy to outlive you, you are going to have to get used to jealousy and envy. And if you really struggle with this, I invite you into my Persecution Wound Masterclass. I made this class for you. Let me actually grab the link for you guys. It's in the description box. You need to be there, babe. It starts on 8/8. And this is that inner work. This masterclass series, it's a 3-part series. It's going to freaking change your life. It's everything that you need to have the entire world doubting you, and you keep moving. You keep moving forward. You keep changing. You keep creating change. You start a whole freaking revolution. I did a private training in Level Up Queens where I talked about I will walk there. In the persecution wound, you will walk there. That is our secret code for the Level Up Queens. I want to create strong women and men that will walk there despite everything. That's what I want for you. Valentina said, not at that level yet, but definitely makes sense. Thank you for being this beautiful inspiration for us and planting seeds of greatness in us as well, Mina. Awesome, Valentina. I'm holding that space and seeing that for you. And I don't know if I believe entirely when you say that you're not at that level, because what I've seen is that a lot of times when women are at that level, they don't know it and everyone else can see it. You're over here doing your inner work. You're over here showing up at every training. You're here commenting. You've signed up for the level of queens. So I think you are there. I think you're in the 99% realm. Free Spirit said this week, after telling a colleague I was in Budapest last week and I loved meeting you there, she jokingly said, "You're always on vacation. You must get paid too much." What the hell does that even mean, paid too much? Makes me so uncomfortable. I don't want to share stuff. Share even more of it. Share it even more. That was always Sheena's advice. Like that was my mom. I was sharing this with Alina the other day, and Alina was like, "I wish I would have met Sheena because she just sounds like fire." Alina is Sheena. She doesn't fully know it yet. She says it sometimes, but she is Sheena. So if my mom, Sheena, ever found out that you were jealous of her, you'd be sorry that you let her know. You'd have to be better at hiding it, because this woman will dangle the thing in your face until you had no choice but to do the inner work to expand your container to be able to watch her. That's who Sheena was. And we're over here like, okay, let's shrink. Like sometimes I've had moments where I'm like trying to shrink because I'm making other people uncomfortable. And then I can hear Sheena in my head saying, "Are you even my daughter? Like, does my DNA even exist in you?" And I'm like, "Oh, okay, hold on, hold on. No, do them a favor and live it even more. Enjoy it even more. Richer, hotter, sexier, happier, all the things like I always say. Do it even more boldly. You're doing them a favor. Your existence is a favor to them. You're welcome. Because now it's like planting seeds of, oh, this is out there. This gets to exist. There's someone out there that gets paid too much. What does that even mean? Gets paid too much. What does that mean? Of course, you get paid all the things, as you should. I love that mindset. I'm excited for Monday. Thank you, Mina. I love your work. Thank you, Georgie. I'm super excited to get you all fired up on Monday because we need women in their power, creating big change on this planet, creating big money, having beautiful families, healthy babies, juicy romantic relationships. Like, wouldn't that feel amazing? Like, that makes me so happy. Just thinking about all of your relationships, the money in your bank accounts, you wearing your sexy dresses because you just feel so hot and alive, and you just living your best life makes me so happy. Sydney says, "Yes, I struggle with the same thing, dimming my light to make others comfortable." Babe, no, no. Are you really doing them a favor? Let me ask you that. Like, do you really believe that you're doing them a favor? How? How? It's like, let's all be poor and then everyone will be comfortable. Let's all be really, really sick so that everyone will be comfortable. Let's all just be really super uncomfortable in our skin. Like, where does it end? And let me tell you something, babe. You've heard me probably talk about this if you're in my world. When I was in my deepest, darkest time in my 20s, when I was like on the verge of a nervous breakdown, like single mom, full-time student, overwhelmed with my business, like I still had a lot of blessings. Like I had money coming in and everything. So I'm not complaining, but I was not well. People were still jealous of me. And I realized at that time that if a single mom that is working her ass off and it's like barely just like keeping her head over water is making you uncomfortable, you need help. You need help. So like what are we supposed to do? Like not breathe? Like if me at my worst time makes other people uncomfortable, what am I supposed to do? Not exist? Well, God put me on this planet. So other people are going to have to expand their container to hold Mina Irfan. They're going to have to. Or look away. Look away. You know there's something there when they are obsessed with you, like stalking you like it's their full-time freaking job, but still jealous. It's like, why not just go away? Why not go do something more meaningful with your life? Why not stand for something? Make something, create something. Because how do you have time for full-time hate, full-time jealousy, full-time envy, and time to work out, be present in your life, play with your children, make love with your partner, talk with your friends, have creative time to create something meaningful, pray? Like, how do you have time for all of it? You don't. So we're going to have to choose that we get to exist. And if you're here already, look, you already went through like the womb passing stage, like you went through infancy, you went through the uncomfortable childhood years and school, and you went through high school. Girl, you've been through a lot. You might as well play full force. Okay, we didn't go through all of that to be like, okay, now I'm an adult. I went through all that uncomfort like stages to be here, but now we can't accept little Miss Sue and Sally here. God forbid they be jealous. So let me just plant myself over here and be small. No thinkers, as Ayan would say. No thinkers. He also, Ayan's so funny. My 14-year-old, he says, that is a very good offer, but I politely and humbly decline your offer. So that's what I'm going to say. No thinkers. Very good offer, but I politely and humbly decline your offer. He often says that for bedtime, just so you guys know. He says that's a fair offer, but I politely decline your offer. So that's what we're going to have to do. Do you think I should buy the Basic Babe course or Persecution Wound first? Oh, yes. I love the hashtag I will walk. So Georgie, let's do something right now. Hold on. I got to sit up straight for that. Okay. So what I'm going to have you do is I want you to kind of drop into your belly. Imagine like you know how when you're a little baby, you breathe. When they're breathing, you can see their belly going up and down, little chubby babies. I want you to like breathe fully where your belly is expanding in and out. Take like 3 good breaths like that. Okay. And I want you to now put your energy in your womb space or at the soles of your feet, whatever is comfortable. And you can, if it helps, you can put one hand on your heart and one hand on your womb to drop in. And so at this point, Georgie, I want you to hold the image of both the persecution wound and the basic babe. Imagine them both in front of you. And notice that you might be feeling maybe a slight unease because you're not sure which one you want. But now I want you to remove the basic babe bundle and just hold a vision of the persecution wound and see how that feels for you. Just kind of tap into it in your body. Now I want you to bring the basic babe bundle back to your vision. You have them both in front of you now. See if anything changes in your body and how it feels now. Now I want you to remove the persecution wound and just hold the image of the basic babe bundle. See how that feels in your body. And then I want you to bring them both back. And see how that feels. And then whenever you're ready, You can open your eyes. Okay. I'll give you a second to catch up. Okay. Now, let me know if that helped, first of all. If not, or in addition to that, let me give you sort of my cosmology of how I process things. This is a technique that I've taught my children and I do for decision making, but I also have some energetic kind of belief systems. I believe that I can't make a wrong decision. So let's say that I was a student, my own student, and I was in your position and I was looking at the persecution wound and the basic babe. And for some reason, I could only get both. I'm sorry, only get one. I'm the kind of person where I want the whole thing. But let's say I was in a position where I could only get one. I would get the one that resonates, like that has a stronger field first, knowing that I can't make a mistake. So let's say I buy it and I'm watching it and I'm like, oh man, this doesn't really resonate with me at this point in my life. Well, that is still information. So I did not mess up anything because in that moment, I spent some money to get something to learn that that is not where I'm at right now. So this has happened to me. I have paid $50,000, $75,000, lots of things for coaching packages, lots of different price points. Some have been life-changing and brilliant. Some have not been so great. But the thing is, I still found so much value from the ones that weren't so great in the sense that you would think. And when I say not so great, meaning I didn't end up watching the whole thing, or I ended up not resonating with some of the coach's belief systems. But I still found value in that because if I had to pay $75,000 to find out that what I believe is what I really believe, and to stand firm in that belief, that's not a lot of money to be so convicted in who I am, to know who I am, to know what I stand for. Some people pay with flesh. Some people learn lessons the hard way through lots of different situations. I used to be that person. I have a 6 line in my human design, which is a 3 line before you're 30. So trust me, your girl has learned some hard lessons, right? So now if I have to pay someone $75,000 to learn a lesson, like great, awesome. Because I'd rather pay with dollars than flesh. So if you believe that you can't make a wrong decision, then every decision gets to be the right decision. And the truth is that even if you got the persecution wound and you're like, I'm not there yet, you have lifetime access to it. And there's something in there about sisterhood, about jealousy, about envy. There's going to be stuff. Also, I haven't said this enough, maybe not at all, but you can apply the entire 777 credit onto a different offer afterwards. So whatever you spend on the persecution wound, that you're later on, you're going to get a credit so that you can roll it into the next thing that you want to do with me. If you desire, you don't have to, but if you desire, you can do that. I did the same thing with the Budapest attendees. And by the way, that code expires in a few days for my Budapest people, where they can roll over the entire $1,500 that they paid for that into the next thing that they want to do. So you get to win no matter what. No matter what, you win. That's what I believe. Thank you, Mina. I will treasure your words and hold on to them. Yay! By the way, Valentina is one of Alina's favorite names, and several of her unis, her stuffed animals, have that name. Free Spirit said, love it, so savage. Listening to this, imagining projecting my light and sharing my blessings has some strong, nervous, anxious, excited energy in my belly. So babe, it sounds like you hold your nervous, anxious, and exciting energy all in the same space like I do. I also hold it in my belly. And sometimes for me, it can get crossed where I'm like really excited about something, but it will like show up as fear. I'm like, I'm not scared, I'm excited. So I wonder if you've experienced that too. Georgie said, oh, that was so good. I was thinking persecution wound, but when we did that, it felt like I would miss Basic babe more. That's what you mean when you say dropping into your body. Thank you. Yes, because I'm not saying mental decisions don't have a place. Like obviously in human design, like some people do make their decisions from the mental plane, but we want to also involve the body. The mental plane is best when it's synced in, when there's coherence with the body, with the heart. And so when we do these type of practices to really drop in, it's not that we're not using our brain, it's that we're using the two together. Because your subconscious, deep down, you know which one has the thing that you need to hear the most. Now, if you can do both, like this is not work that you will ever regret. Like you are not going to regret getting both. But I totally get it. If you can only do one, then get the one that your subconscious says that you have to do first. Hi, Mina. I am on Kainat monthly package. After a year, do I still get to keep the course after a year? So Elsa and everyone that's listening. So if you're watching this live or close enough to when this went live, the answer is yes. Elsa, you get to keep all the courses after the 1 year. What you won't get to keep is the office hours. And of course, you won't be in the new office hours after that unless you use the alumni rate and re-enroll. But yes, the reason I'm giving a disclaimer is because at some point we will change that. So just so you know, we hired, maybe I'll share this privately. We hired some really high level executive team members, and they looked at some of my stuff and they're like, what are you doing? Like, why would you be giving this away at this price? Why would you be doing lifetime access for this? And of course, I've always done what's felt aligned to me, but they really pointed out where I'm over giving and where I could tweak things. So things are going to be changing in my business for the future, but for those of you guys that already signed up to Kainat at this price and what I've already offered, you are going to have lifetime access to the courses this round. But in the future, if you're watching this training a year later, 6 months later, just know that the terms may have changed. So the current terms always apply. Love that, Valentina said. Big hug to lovely Alina from Valentina. Thank you, babe. I appreciate that. Okay, so let's see if there was something else. I wanted to also share how braiding can show up in your life, in your relationships, and in your money, okay? So when we are not braided in our masculine and feminine energies, we are either just automated and stuck in one energy, and it rules everything. And we feel like if we're too much in our feminines, like we can't take any action, we're not motivated, we can't sustain anything, right? Like we're stuck, we're trapped in this one dimension. Or if you're in your masculine, it's like you're doing, but you can't enjoy life. Like the simplest things, like don't even like do anything for you, right? Like I posted on Instagram, I'm planning on doing this more and more, but I have these like magical, intense moments in my life. If I told you about them, you would be like, well, that sounds kind of normal. It is, but it isn't. Like the fact that, let me give you an example. Like every time my kids and I, my husband and I, our whole family, we do stuff, we have this thing of like turning it into a vibe. So let me give you an example of this. So you know that thing of like people are like, oh, social media is like a highlight reel, like it's just everyone's highlight reel. We decided that our life is a highlight reel. And so we purposely create that in our life. And previously, I wasn't always taking pictures of it. We were just doing it. And now I decided that I'm ready to start sharing more of that. And I've been sharing, I shared a post yesterday. So for example, we will do the simplest thing. Like we DoorDash sushi the other day. Like my kids love sushi and they wanted sushi, but they were like, I want sushi, but I don't want to get dressed and go out. So we're like, okay, let's just do a sushi lunch date at home. So we DoorDash sushi. And then when it came in, instead of just like everyone just eating it, we're like, okay, we're going to create a vibe. And what that means is that you create like this whole like, it's like God's reel. If we were God's social media, and if God was scrolling, oh my God, this is coming out better than I thought it was going to. This is the best way to explain it. If God was like, okay, let me scroll on social media, And like our moment would show up, like that's what it is. It's like we're like dropped in where it's not just us eating sushi. It's like us being so wildly present in that moment and with each other that like eating sushi becomes like we just became billionaires. Like we have more excitement than like we just became millionaires and we can walk on water and we're like God's best friend and like anything, like we're in heaven. Like anything that's the best thing that could ever happen just happened to us. But if someone else looks at it, we're just like wildly happy being with each other and having sushi. We did the same thing last night watching a movie together. It's like, okay, highlight, like let's turn it into a vibe. Like let's vibe it up. And that is code in my family for like being so wildly present with our gratitude and with our blessings. So when you are braided, you have the ability to run both feminine and masculine energetics at the same time. So you can take action and you can enjoy that action so wildly that people think you're crazy, because who on earth would be having that level of an emotional reaction to eating sushi with your family? But think about it this way, when I didn't have a family, when I didn't have children, when I didn't have money, when I wasn't in my dream body, when I couldn't just DoorDash everything or whatever I wanted, I would have given anything to have it. So now that I have it, why am I going to automate it? Why am I not going to enjoy it? Why am I not going to be wildly aesthetic, like just orgasmic about it? Of course I will. I don't care if that makes people jealous. Like, this is what I manifested. I wanted it. I wanted it so bad that I got it. And now that I got it, I am going to be in it. I'm going to swim in it. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to relish in it. I'm just going to live it. I'm going to be present in it. I am going to be, I want when God's scrolling, I want God to be like, damn, we've never had anyone this grateful. Like she earns the prize of gratefulness. We've never had anyone do it like this. That's what I want God to say. That's the highlight reel that I'm creating in my life. That's what happens when you can energetically braid those energies. You're both in the 99% realm and the 1% realm at the same time. That's what that feels like. Okay. In your relationships, now that you know the gender roles, you have the gender roles, you have that ability to hold that. Now you can create whatever you want. So now in your marriage, like the money's check, money's there. You've got the masculine part done. It's all invested. It's all done. You've got the cloud part compounding while you sleep, while you make love, while you eat, while you vacation. It's growing. It's just dropping in. It's non-linear. So now it doesn't matter who's paying for what. You're not Venmoing each other coffee dates. You're not like splitting things. You're not like getting into ego battles. The money is coming faster than either of you can even spend it anyway. So who cares at this point? You have the range. You did the whole thing. You let him provide in other ways. Okay. He creates the container. He makes your life beautiful. The money part, it's just the bank is just printing it for you. It's done. You can't spend all of it even if you wanted to. That's why you're going to have to give it to your kids. That's why your grandchildren are going to have it. So do you see that braiding puts you in a completely different paradigm? I think I was going to talk about money, but I think I answered that. When you don't have the braiding, it's like either you can enjoy it or you can be frugal. Either you can earn it or you can have a life. Either you can have it or you can hold. Like, do you see what I mean? It's like you have to choose. But when you're braided, you can earn it, you can have it, you can hold it, you can multiply it. You can't even spend it if you wanted to. It's so much. You have to have people to, like you have to make babies just so they can inherit your money. That's what happens when you're braided. Brianna said, I don't think it's things that make people jealous. It's how happy you are enjoying it. Like a toddler who wants a toy from another toddler. They didn't want to play with it until the joy was there. Brianna, that is so insightful. That's so, yeah, that makes so sense. And then you take the toy and you give it to that toddler and then they like forget about it 2 seconds later because they don't actually have the container to enjoy it. Even if they had it, they wouldn't enjoy it. because they're not enjoying the things that they have right now. Because if they did, they wouldn't have their eyes on your thing in the first place. They'd be too busy creating God's social media feed with their highlight reels. I love that. Valentina said, the idea of creating a vibe is blowing my mind right now. I'll apply tonight at dinner. Thank you, Mina. The concept is simple, but definitely changes everything. You just gave us a mindset upgrade. I love this, Valentina. So by the way, I'm teaching this in a very private masterclass that's happening inside of 99% Realm. I just emailed them out this morning. So if you are in 99% Realm or Kainat, you would have gotten that email. It's called Money, Money, Play with Me. So I'm going to teach you how to flirt and play with life in a way where the floodgates of joy, of romance, of money, of enjoyment, of pleasure, of everything that you think you need money for will open up, because you need to have that container to have the things anyways. Otherwise, you'll have the money and then you're not going to be happy either, right? Yeah. How can I meta update my husband with his money mindset? He is very frugal. So you guys know that's how Irfan started out. Funny thing is that he was doing this thing with his friends, and it's so funny to me now because he was saying that he couldn't believe how frugal his friends are. And I was just like, do you not remember that? Like, I didn't say anything. I was like, okay, be in your feminine, Mina. But what I wanted to be like, yeah, that's how you were. That's why they're your friends. So they forget. Okay, so when you meta update people, that's the other thing. They forget that that's how they used to be. So first of all, accept that's where he's at and make it to your benefit. So that is the first thing. Acceptance is the first way to meta update. So what I did is I accepted where my husband was, and he was very, 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 very frugal. And then I said, well, how does this benefit me? Well, how this benefits me is that I'm not very frugal at all. Okay. So, and this was like early on in our marriage where I was like not financially literate in the masculine sense. I could manifest money all day long, but never keep it. That was me when we got married. So I'm like, okay, well, this is good because now I'm actually going to have money. Like, and I don't even have to earn it. At that time, he was the only earner in the family, right? So I'm like, this is great. It's not so great because I can't always spend everything, but now I actually get to have money. So I like to focus on the thing where it benefits me. And then later on, when I did start my business and I started earning, I didn't have that fear of like, oh, like I'm gonna end up like wasting it or blowing it or like just like effing it all off like I did before and like how my family always did, because now I know how to keep money. I have the masculine like financial literacy part down. So this gets to work out in your favor, like everything else, like everything else. By the way, you know, God always gets me like this. Like I have to say this, no matter how sick I am, and like literally my nose, this is so gross, sorry, this is so TMI. My nose was dripping all morning like crazy. And I was like, I cannot show up on YouTube gross like this. I kept having like sneeze attacks, right? I was like 20 sneeze back to back. And so I contemplated canceling or putting this training off. But then I remembered that any single time that I'm ever like sick, have a sore throat, have a headache, have a cold, the minute I start teaching, it goes away. I don't know what it is. One of my previous mentors used to say this thing, and now I really get it. Like she used to say, the solution to all your problems is your sacred work. So she, like, if I was ever like in a vibe or in a mood, right? She would be like, you have a headache? Go teach. You're feeling sick? Go teach. People are getting on your nerves? Go teach. And I'd be like, oh, like what? And she would say, she's like, God created you to do this work. And the solution to all your problems is to go do your divine work. And I can't believe how true this is. I haven't sneezed or coughed or my nose crazy dripping even once. I was so like embarrassed that it was gonna happen that I bought like a whole new brand new thing of Kleenex upstairs with me, because I'm like, this is gonna be really awkward and gross, and not once. That's how you know you're meant for this work, where God's like, hold on, she's going live. Like just pause everything. Yes, turn into your favor. Everything always gets to work out for you. That's all I know, and I will believe that and say that till the day I die. It all gets to work out in your favor. Always, always, always. God wouldn't want it any other way. Any questions? Okay, I'm gonna give you guys my offers, and then I'll open up the chat for a few minutes. So what I want you to do today is use this opportunity, especially the August energy. We're in the Lionsgate portal right now. 8/8 is like the main date, but we're already in it. We've been in it since like July 26th. Use this potent energy to say yes to something. Choose something, okay? And join the membership if that's where you can start. It's $20 a month, my YouTube membership. The masterclasses that I am dropping this month, like even just the masterclass that's happening on Monday, it will pay for the whole year, maybe 2 years of the cost of that membership. Trust me, you need to be in there, okay? Invest in something, make a move, okay? If you want to go a little bit further, you're like, no, I'm ready for more, join my 99% Realm membership. It is fire. I've not only have the timeline jumping intensive in there, those recordings sell for $22.22, and you're only paying 22, like 222. So it's like over $2,000 worth of content is already in there. Then on Tuesday, August 6th, I'm doing my Money Play With Me masterclass in there. Then also in August, you get my wormhole, like it's like a mini course, it's like a masterclass series that will sell separately for $555. So already, like just for the small investment, you're getting so much value. And this is going to change how you show up in your life, how you're existing in your life, how you're planted in your life, how you're moving in your life, the decisions that you make, like these courses bundled together. Oh my God. Like I am bringing the best of my work yet, because my work is always going to keep getting better, the best of my work yet now. Everything before this, I feel like was practice for what I'm bringing now. So the membership is a great place to start. If you're like, I want a little bit more than that, I want to be like all in, then Kainat will be a great place. I am letting you guys have the first semester separately if you want, like the link is in the description box. I may not do that in the future. We're going to see. Administratively, it creates a little bit more on our end. So we're going to see if we're still going to continue doing that. But this time around, I am selling the entrepreneurship member semester separately. The thing is, you don't have to be a business owner to get value from that. If you want to be self-led and you want to be able to lead your family, if you want to be a partner with your husband, like he's not the only leader in your family. You are also a leader. Okay, your partner is in this together. You're gonna learn so many leadership skills in the next 3 months. Come join and do that with me. Okay. If you're like, no, I want to commit to a whole year. Like I'm all in. Like I want to do a whole freaking year with you. I want office hours. I want the opportunity of hot seat, coaching. If you're like, I never want to even have to make a decision whether I'm buying something or not. Like I want to just like know that everything that you launch in the next year is already included for me. Kainat is where it's at. You can pay in full and save money, and you get 99% realm. You get everything. Everything that I'm launching in this year, you get it automatically, okay? But if you want to do the monthly payment plan, it doesn't even make sense. There's $10,000 worth of courses in there right now before I've even taught anything new. And just the first monthly payment is like $17.77, I think. Like it doesn't even it doesn't even make sense. Like I am committing to your growth. Like I want to create millionaire moms who are like happily and wildly in love in their marriages. Like that is my mission that I'm going into even more boldly than I've ever gone in before. Like I want millionaire families. I want legacy families. I want women to be making crazy, obscene, wild amounts of love, joy, romance, money, all of the things in their life. And so that's why I launched Kainat. So I'm like, I'm going to give them all the support that they need to be able to do that. So those are all my offers. Of course, there's also persecution wound, which comes inside of Kainat. So all of that is there. There's no excuses. There's something for everyone now. Okay. And if you're completely new to my world and you're like, I don't know if I want to even spend $20 right now with you, Mina. Okay. Sign up for my free activation audio. And with that, you get a limited time free masterclass called Resourceful. And that is for my lovely self-aware Barbies. If you just want to see, you know, a little glimpse of what's coming and how I teach, that will be a great place to start. All right. Welcome to Level Up Queens, Mariana. That's one of my favorite quotes from you. Everything is always working out for me. Always, always, always. Even if you can't see it, even if it's not clear, even if no one believes it, even if you don't believe it, it's always working out for you. Okay. Georgie said, this has been such a gift. Thank you for showing up for us, even though you weren't feeling your best. If I get basic babe and persecution wound, can I use the 777 towards the self-aware Barbie in the future? You can use the 777 towards whatever course that you want over 777. So the answer is yes. You can use that credit towards whatever you desire. Yep. I'm also going to create, there's going to be a new course coming at some point called the self-aware Barbie course. We have a self-aware Barbie bundle. I've never done like a self-aware Barbie course. And that's going to be coming this year as well. I'm so excited. I have so much just amazing stuff coming this year. Like I'm really in my quantum design this year. And of course that projector part is still integrated, but like I'm really activating the quantum part. Thank you. Your work is so precious. Thank you, Georgie. And so I don't have too much more energy, but however, I will open up the chat for a few minutes because I promised you guys. Any questions coming up from my lovely subscribers? I love you guys. What's coming up for you from the training, from my offers? What are you saying yes to? What's your hell yes in your soul, in your body? What are you committing to for this Lionsgate portal? Turn inner work into a vibe too. Knowing that you literally can't make a mistake. There's no such thing as you buying the wrong thing, because even the buying the wrong thing teaches you what's the right thing. Hi, Goddess. I'm grateful for you as well, babe. Thank you. Everything always works out in your favor. It's all just information for you. Alignment for you. By the way, guys, I don't know how long I'm going to leave these 3 trainings on here too, so please do make sure that you listen to them and you are all caught up. So Diana, Armand will be able to help you with that. His link is in the description box. Let me send it to you. So Armand's level 1 reading, it's all about your main human design, which I'm a 4/6 projector. But then his at the end, if you ask him at the end of your level 1, he can tell you there's the link, your quantum human design, and then if you wanted to do a level 2 reading, you could. Hi, Mina, what course is best for increasing my income? I'm from the Philippines and been watching you a year now. Love you. So my question for you, babe, would be, do you need help in the feminine or in the masculine? So for example, when we're trying to manifest larger amounts of money and we need to expand our container, that's feminine energy work on money. When we are unsure about how to save money, invest money, budget money, grow money, that's like financial literacy. So if you're wanting to call in and expand your container, my Millionaires Play Shop is amazing. For some reason on this upstairs computer, I can't pull up my bit.ly, but let me see if I can pull it up my phone and send it to you. I don't know why this is acting up. I need your phone to take a look at it. Millionaires. That will help you expand your container around being able to, like, if you are, here's what I want you guys to realize. If you ever find yourself not being able to go past a certain limit, like no matter what you do, you can't earn more than a certain amount, or save more than a certain amount, or invest more, that's a container issue. Because why would it be that it's like it's that particular amount that you're stuck at, right? That's a container issue. So Millionaires will help with that. I'm throwing the link in for you. I just put it in the chat. Okay. Didn't Mahatma Gandhi and Mother Teresa live a very humble life, meaning low luxury? Why do you say being rich means being elite? I'm not understanding. So your definition of elite is different than mine. You can live however you want to, like as far as luxury wise, but elite means you are a high performer. Mahatma Gandhi didn't eat for like days and weeks and months. He was an elite performer. Mother Teresa put aside her own needs, her own, like everything, and gave to other people in other communities. She was an elite performer. So if you want to be an elite performer, you need high emotional intelligence. That's elite performance. You need the ability to put aside your feelings in the moment and show up for what you've promised. Like today, when I woke up sick, I had the option of putting off this free masterclass, right? No one's going to be mad at me, but I consider myself an elite performer and I showed up. So Mahatma Gandhi, Mother Teresa, Martin Luther King, like Oprah, Rihanna, all of these brilliant people, these are elite performers. That's why they even get to have money. Mother Teresa raised millions and millions in funds to help people. She was an elite performer. Okay. Thank you, Eve. I love you too, gorgeous. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you. I love you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I have a full-time job and starting my life coaching business. I find myself struggling with time and energy. Do you have a great tip for this to overcome? So Elsa, the resourceful class and the money come to me play shop, I actually talked about why some people do the same amount of work but get burnt out and tired and have no time, and while other people might do more than that and that doesn't happen. So I'm gonna invite you into my money come to me play shop. It's going to change your entire worldview on why we get tired, why we get burnt out. It has nothing to do with the amount of work that we're doing. I'm sending it to you in the chat. I highly recommend you start there. It will change everything. I'm so glad my YouTube notifies me every time you're live now. Oh, yay! I know YouTube was glitching about that before, so I'm so glad to hear that, Shazad. Love that. Yay! Hi, Mina. Thanks so much for the live. Your teachings, everything works out for me always, improving the vibe, all resonate, especially like you're mentioning the others leveling up, we can benefit. Like you mentioning that others leveling up we can benefit from. Yes. And the thing is, babe, a lot of things that we're working so hard for, striving for, we think that it's gonna make us feel a certain way. It's gonna give us certain vibe. It's gonna give us certain time or energy or certain romance, right? But if we don't know how to do that now, then how can we be sure that if we work so hard to manifest something, then we'll have it now? Most likely, if you don't have the container to enjoy the simplest things in life now, you're not going to be able to enjoy it later. I've been in situations where outwardly people are probably like, okay, why are you so happy? Like there's nothing to be, but in that moment, I found something internally or something. Like even in my old house, which my old house was beautiful. I love that house. I didn't have a view in that house. And so there was a lot of windows. So I planted banana trees all outside the windows because I heard that they grow really fast. And they do, by the way, really fast. And so within a few weeks, I had a view. Out of every window, there were these gorgeous tropical banana trees. I believe that having that view attracted this gorgeous house with a view. So being able to expand my container with having a view that I made up attracted a house where there's an actual view. And now that I fall into extreme gratitude looking at that, God knows what else is coming into my world, coming into my vortex. But with everything, whether it's a hug with my child or an audio message with my friend, like Shahzad and I literally audio each other all day long, all day long. Like she is my most like talk to person in the world all day long. And each audio to me is so precious. There's so much love in it. There's so much wisdom in it. There's so much humor in it. We have so much fun together. Like being able to appreciate those things that like friendship, that doesn't cost money. It costs heart, but you need to have the container to have a friend like that. So just being able to drop in and create a vibe and have a moment with everything will expand your world, put you in the 99% realm. And then what you can manifest from there, OMG, OMG. You're not going to do it by hating your life now, though. It just doesn't happen that way. Blue Siren said, hi from Colombia. Thanks for your dedication. I'm also a 6'3" projector. Sometimes I feel I have skills to be a life coach in the future, but I feel insecure about pursuing this path. Any advice? So Blue Siren, one thing I'm going to say is that I think there's a lot of people right now that want to be life coaches or are life coaches or claim to be life coaches, but they're also degrading the industry by attacking it, which is like a super sad thing that's happening in the world right now. But I think I saw this happen in the real estate industry back in the 2007, 2008. So I already know the outcome, and eventually it will work out for us that have staying power and we mastering our craft. So what I'm going to say is that if you are planning on entering the coaching industry, the first thing you can do is start following other life coaches and start noticing people that are in integrity, people who are really doing it for the calling, people that are doing it because this is their life's work and their passion, people that are dedicated to showing up every single day and mastering their craft and getting better at it every single day, versus people that you can clearly tell they're like, my dad used to say that even dogs and cats clean the space before they sit in it. And there's also a very famous Persian saying that don't bite the hand that feeds you. You see a lot of coaches that are in the coaching industry and then they're attacking other coaches. It's sad but funny at the same time. It's like you're ruining the industry that you're in. This is your profession. So if this is your profession, or you wanted to, treat it like every other profession. How does a doctor treat the medical profession? Look at the level of mastery, the level of skill, the level of respect, the level of integrity that is required to be a doctor or any medical professional, right? Or a dentist or a nurse, right? Or a teacher. Like there's continuing education, there's certifications, there's protocols that they have to follow. A lawyer, like there's systems, there's SOPs, there's things that they have to abide by. So what we want to see, Shahzad and I are really dedicated to that. We're actually going to talk about this some more soon together as well, is that really treat it like a profession. It is a really honorable profession. Not everyone has the calling to do it. Some people get in it just to make a quick buck. I call it the smash and grab life coaches, but the real people, the ones that are like in it. Like they're there to grow. They're there to evolve. They're there to take you to their next level, and they're dedicated to their own embodiment just as much as they are dedicated to yours. Like they're in it with you. Those are the people. And so learn from them. Also, the other thing I'm going to say is that if you're going to get a certification, get one that teaches you a good rounded toolbox of modalities to practice with. Because in the beginning, the imposter syndrome can really show up if you feel like you don't have enough tools in your toolbox. And no, reading a whole bunch of books, like that's great and you should do that for you, but it might not give you the knowing and the confidence that would come from actually having a good, like established toolbox of modalities. So that would be my advice for you. Yeah. This is just a comment. You look absolutely beautiful. I can definitely tell you are reversing in age, mentally, spiritually, and physically younger and younger every day. Thank you, fitness. I appreciate that. I fully receive your comment. Thank you. Thank you. Shirzad said, this is gold right here. Watch the people who are mastering their craft with integrity and respect for the industry. Yes, yes, yes. I mean, would you go to a doctor that like kept dogging the medical profession? Would you like send your kids to a school where the teacher hated the teaching profession? Right? And I'm not saying you don't get to have opinions about certain things and evolve them, but if you're like literally like biting the hand that feeds, like this is your profession, this is what you chose. Like I had an uncle and all my in back home and all my family, my extended family was moving to the US and he refused to move and his wife wanted to move. And so someone was having a conversation. They were saying, well, the system in Pakistan is so broken. Like, why would you not just move out of here? You have the opportunity to go to the US. And he was like, when your house is dirty, you don't just move, you clean it. He's like, Pakistan is my house. I'm not going to move. I'm going to change the system. So of course, if you find something, if you're in the medical profession, you don't like something, sure, change it, evolve it. But you're not going to do that by shitting on your colleagues and your industry. Like that's not how it works. And you see a lot of coaches doing that. These are the businesses that are going to go out of business first. Because high elite athletes, professionals that actually hire coaching, remember, coaching is not for broken people. It's for high level performers. They don't want to hire someone that sees everything as broken because they know they're going to see them as broken. And they're really turned off by that. So coaching is very, very different than therapy. And I think a lot of people don't understand that. So ladies and men, I know men will watch this too. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to go get back in my robe. And today is just going to be a snuggle and movie day for me over here. I love you guys so much. Thank you for joining me today. And I will see you in my private offers. Now, YouTube, my main YouTube page, you might not see me as much live here because starting Monday, I'm jumping in deep into all of my paid offerings with people that have invested in themselves. And so I'm going to be a little bit busy doing all the things. So you might get little clips here and there of me here, but just know I'm working behind the scenes. And if you miss me, come join me in the Level Up Queens or in one of my offers, and then we get to continue working together. All right. Love you so much. Bye, everyone. Bye.